Me. We'll give everybody a hot minute to join. This is broadcasting on Haps out to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. I think that's it. I'm still recovering from trade show week.
Oh gosh, you must be exhausted.
It was crazy. So like Tuesday night, my flight got in like late, close to midnight, and then of course you're not going to sleep, knowing that you have to be up early. And then it was getting up at 5:30, being to the trade show floor at 7 to set up a booth, working trade show booth all day till like 5, 6 o'clock. I was just tired and definitely dehydrated. And then I had to do it all again the next day.
How many days in a row did you do it? Was it 4 days?
So it was technically 2 days of trade show and then a day full of events as well. But it's just so heavy. All right, we got some people in here. Blaine's in here, Brian's in here, Randy's in here, Beach Bub Dave, Josh Crothers, Rob. Good morning, everybody. As you can see, we're going to get started here now that we have some people in the room. We have a guest with us today. This is the Today in Travel Show. It happens every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today's special guest is none other than are we going to call it the better half, the sparkly half? Poor Jared. Just kidding. One of the wonderful halves of JJ Cruise. We have Jordan here. So Jordan, can you introduce yourself, overview your channel? We can give a shout out to Jared because he is wonderful.
Yes. And I'm sure he's watching from some platform right now. But hello, everyone. Haley, thank you so much for letting me stand in here. I'm so happy to be a part of this. Jared and I are both fans of Today in Travel, so we normally tune in as well. But yes, like Haley said, I am from JJ Cruise. We are a cruise. I mean, we really just were a cruise YouTube channel, but now we're like on Instagram and Facebook, and we are a cruise community of travelers. So,
and you got your start in the FBI, right?
Yes, I got my start in the FBI. So if you happen to follow me on TikTok, my TikTok is all about me, FBI.
I love it. Dominic, hello. So Pam Curtis Davies says, so happy to see Jordan. So you got a little fan in here, Jordan. Judy's in here. Miss Q. Denise is here. Hello, everybody. We're going to hop right into the travel news. Now, remember, this is the general schedule. We're going to talk about hot travel topics. One is piping hot off the presses this morning. List of countries you can travel to, travel tips we're going to discuss. Jordan, are you ready to rock and roll?
I'm ready. Let's go.
So I actually texted this to Jordan this morning, and I was so sad. The Celebrity Summit has canceled 4 sailings, starting with my repositioning cruise on August 28th, because the CDC is requiring that any ships that are doing a repo from another port to end in a U.S. port to start cruising out of the U.S. have to do a mandatory 14-day quarantine with no guests on board. So
I'm so sorry, Haley. This is like, I thought we were past cancellations, and it makes me really worried that they're starting up again.
I know. I mean, I guess because they're, it's coming from a foreign port, I can understand maybe that ideology. But coming from that foreign port where you have to be vaccinated to go and show your testing, I'm a little confused on it. But Jason has emailed me my options, the perk of using a travel agent. He's giving me a couple options to choose between. They did offer us our money back. You can shift your monies to other sailings. So I got to figure that out because I have a little girl that was very happy to be back cruising again too. So I'm hoping this is not a trend, that this is just, oh, it's a repo. We need to do this. So fingers crossed.
It's interesting because this is really the start of repo season. So this is going to be what happens with, like, I know Harmony is going to be coming over from the Mediterranean. I mean, there's a lot of ships. That's the one that I know of because we were looking at that repositioning cruise a while back. But this could actually impact a lot of people's travel plans come November.
It is, we've talked about it on this channel, and I know you've talked about it with your followers, like needing to be flexible, keep an open mind. And Rich Triple, I do agree with you. I'm just going to probably take my money and disperse it elsewhere because I don't need any more FCC. That is an acronym I can go without hearing again, ever again. But hopefully, fingers crossed, this is a test to maybe see. So we shall see. In other travel news this week, off the presses this morning, the EU has decided to not put any restrictions on non-essential travel for U.S. citizens. So there has been some mumblings in the whole entire last week that with the rise of the Delta variant here, that they were going to put some little sanctions on us. And thankfully, they have not. So those of you that still have some Apex sailings or things of that nature, you are still good. I'm going to pop into comments here. Love and Light. Hi, Haley and Jordan. Where's your other half, Jordan? Well, yeah, where is Jared?
He's working right now, of course, his day job.
Oh, he said he just popped into the chats. We do have a quick question for you that I'll segue to for a second. Will you ever do a Disney cruise again?
Well, so I haven't taken one yet, but I am taking my very first one in 9 days now, August 20th. We got aboard the Disney Dream. And Haley, I was going to say,
I was creeping on that. I won't lie. I was kind of creeping on that this morning.
You had one cruise canceled, and that is like the cheapest Disney sailing on their website. So,
and it is Disney.
but yes, to answer the question, I am sure I will go on this cruise, and I am sure this will be only the start of my Disney cruise career. I'm sure we will have many cruises in our future with Disney.
Rich, it is the repo and the 3 sailings after it because it has to fill that 2-week, and the Summit was doing short sailings. So, but yeah, so I'm glad EU has not gone that route. I think, just get vaccinated. Let's all be done with this. I'm done with it. I'm over it. Next topic we have is the CDC has added 7 countries to a very high COVID travel risk. They added France, Aruba, Iceland, Israel, Thailand, French Polynesia, and Eswatini. Remember, this is on this list as, COVID's high everywhere. When you compare cases to, say, from France to Alabama, those are still staunchly different numbers. So look into this. Obviously, it's travel at your own risk. You got to play by the rules. I hate to be mean, but almost take it with a grain of salt at this point. It's your decision. Compare. There's places here in the States that are worse than that. And that's my piece on it. Jordan, did you want to add anything to it?
Yeah, I mean, I did read that Florida was added to one of the most dangerous places in the world right now. I can't remember the source. It might have been a New York Times article, but I just read that and I thought, wow, it was all these other places that you normally hear about being really dangerous. And then Florida was added to the list. And I mean, things down there are really, really out of control. But I mean, that's where we're all cruising out of too. So it is kind of like travel at your own risk right now. I can't imagine a place like Aruba is worse than Florida right now, but Aruba is a much more segregated island, so I can understand, why maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't seen the numbers down there in Aruba, but
yeah. Brian, I'm not sure. Maybe Jordan knows. Did CDC give Ovation okay to go after a test cruise in Alaska? I haven't seen anything. Have you?
I haven't heard that it did. So that's good news.
Some good news today.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I hope that it's all set to sail. I mean, I think they're getting ready to take their first one. I know someone on that first sailing, which happens on Friday, I think. So
I can't believe we're like practically through the summer. already. Like that's mind blowing. And actually, Jordan, I think you should take the lead on this next one. Norwegian wins court case against state of Florida on vaccine passports. I know you've covered this. I know you've researched it. What is the JJ Cruz opinion on this?
I mean, the JJ Cruz opinion is we think that we're actually shocked that Norwegian won this, but we're very supportive. Especially with so many things unknown and the Delta variant going around. I think what Norwegian is doing is bold, and I actually applaud them for it. The response to that video and the response that we've been getting from our community has been overly positive. We've seen a lot of people say, you know what, I haven't sailed Norwegian, but I'm going to now because it makes me feel the safest. And if you look at all these polls out there, of course, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. We put a poll out as well on YouTube. Almost every poll we've seen, 80% of cruisers want vaccinated cruises. So the sweeping majority wants to feel safe at sea and be able to enjoy their vacation without a lot of worry. So I think it's great what Norwegian is doing. I don't think the battle is over, though. I think that the state will take it to the Supreme Court. DeSantis is pretty upset from what sources are saying. And it seems like when he doesn't get his way, things start to unravel. So I don't think that the battle is over, but we are applauding Norwegian and good for them.
I'll agree with that. I'm definitely one of those people. I've never sailed Norwegian, but I was just kind of like, you know what? Like, good for you for sticking to your guns. Like, it's something where, where I find myself kind of in that like lower premium category doing a lot of celebrity. Something I think I would possibly consider with my kid if I was doing a sailing with her to give it a try. Cause I really like how they've stuck to their guns. And I do agree that it's probably not over. I think it's kind of mind blowing that this is the situation that it is. Because for me and Jason, I've uttered this on this broadcast way more times than I can count. Is for me, it's the same as no shirt, no shoes, no service.
You said the issue is the service?
No, I said for me, this complex behind the vaccine passport and Florida having such a problem with it, I don't see where it's any different than no shirt, no shoes, no service. Just like you walk into any establishment, you have to have clothes on and
right.
My daughter has to have her vaccines to go to school in the fall. She needs her Tdap. It blows my mind that this is a ongoing issue, but I'm very happy to see that outcome a little positive light, I think. So next we're going to lightly touch on the places you can travel. There is no updates. Remember, this is for U.S. travelers going outbound. This is the current testing requirements. This is available on the Today in Travel talk show. So we're going to talk about a question of the day between you and I before we get to the follower question of the day. Does loyalty status really matter? For me, I think it sometimes depends on what it is. I come from a very big Royal Caribbean background, and I used to very much relish in having diamond status. But now as I've traveled and explored more, I don't know if my status is as noteworthy on that line versus like my medallion status with Delta is 100% worth it. I think it depends on the line. But, for Royal Caribbean, for example, you get the diamond balcony discount, but you can't mix that with anything else. So that's kind of like a caveat, and then all the coupons. And I know that they have updated the diamond drinks this year, which I do like that you get the vouchers for all day. That's cool. But it's nothing that really helps me. What are your thoughts? Are you a loyalty snob or are you a price shopper? What is the JJ Cruz stance on this?
I love a good loyalty program, and I'm going to come at this with a little bit of a different angle.
Okay.
And Celebrities Casino loyalty program is some of the best loyalty programming I think that is out there. Once you hit status with the casino at Royal Caribbean, you get free drinks for the year, which is great in the casino. But unlike other cruise lines that shall not be named or mentioned, you can just drink, freely. You can go up to the bar, you can give them your card, your Prime, you have free drinks, whereas other ones you have to be playing or actively, hitting that button and spending money. You also get free cruises once you hit status in the loyalty program at Royal Caribbean's Casino and Celebrities Casino as well. So I love loyalty programs. They keep me coming back. Also, I'm going to be Diamond after my next Royal Caribbean cruise. So I'm really excited about that. And I think it's just a status thing.
I mean, we're all not
I've surrounded
Ken
myself.
Jarvis and his pinnacle pin, but
I've just surrounded myself with so many people like you, Haley, who are like upper status. And I'm like, I just want to be like them someday.
I want to be where the people are. Like, I totally. Yeah, I think for me, working in the industry, in the travel industry for so many years, there's a fine line between people with loyalty status too, because there's the people I think kind of like us and most of the people in here that, like the perks. It's great. It's fun to jest about. And then there's people whose loyalty status is their identity. I mean, growing up working front desk and stuff like that, I have been crawled up with a torch. I don't even know how to explain this without being totally unprofessional, by Diamond members, like Hilton Diamond members. I'm a Diamond member. You have to do this for me. I'm like, well, if I don't have rooms, I can't do anything for you. So I think, I always laugh at it from that side, and loyalty status, even though I enjoy it, makes me cringe a little bit. But I think it does overall pay to be loyal. I pay a little bit more money to fly Delta sometimes. But I'll tell you, when I had to fly to this trade show and I had a ton of stuff, getting 3 free checked bags of 75 pounds apiece was really, really helpful. Not to mention the upgrades, we all love those. But I'm a big loyalty fan. I know you are too. So I do want to ask one question. So you said Celebrities casino perks were some of the best. I am casino illiterate. What does that typically entail? Because you're a casino cruiser as well.
Well, I think Celebrity is not as black and white as Royal Caribbean's loyalty program with their casino is black and white. Like, exactly like what your spend is going to get you at different tiers. Celebrity is not that way, but I will say, based on our edge sailing and the play that we did on that, we were very happy with what we were given. From there, we hit status, so their first like lowest tier is Amethyst. And that means that they'll gift you a free cruise, and then you get some other perks with that as well. But when we called, they were like, "Oh yeah, well, we'd be happy to get you on our 12-night Southern Caribbean sailing September 5th." So, from our perspective, class room as well. So, from our perspective, wow, that's a really like wonderful perk on top of the other perks that hitting loyalty comes with. Yeah, we really like the casino route of booking our cruises, because often we get a little bit more than what we, I think, put in. If you just know exactly how to work the system and how to talk to the agent.
Look at that little JJ Cruise schmoozing right there. That should be a whole that needs to be a video on your YouTube channel, how to schmooze the casino people. So now we're moving on to our travel tip of the day. I call this the Amazon Prime for the win. I've lightly touched on it on this channel before. Especially if I'm going away for a week plus, do not pack sunscreen, the shampoo, the conditioner. I clearly go through a lot of that, and I have a daughter that has long, thick hair too, because it takes up weight in your suitcase, takes up space. So I will Amazon Prime, or I'll do like an Instacart grocery delivery. And I think one of the most underrated items that people don't think about if they're going to stay in a hotel room, you're going to Disney for a week, have a case of water sent to your room. Like,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
That is an unsung hero tip that I don't think gets enough credit, is just having a bunch of bottles of water sent to your room, because they get expensive at a resort, at Disney. just being able to have those in your room, especially during the summer right now, it's hot. You guys need to stay hydrated. Like I found in Dallas last week, even though I was in a conference or a convention center that was air conditioned, I got dehydrated. Like I was just rocking and rolling. And thankfully, we placed an Instacart order. I should have done it a little earlier. I was running behind. But having bottles of water and stuff in our room was nice. And also snacks too, because sometimes room service is really backed up. Are you an Amazon Prime shipper for your travel, sir?
So I've never actually done it, but again, taking a little bit of a spin on this, I think that your way is brilliant. We just discovered that you can do this on cruise ships too, and we had one of our cruise community members send us a 24 pack of water when we were on Mardi Gras, and it was a lifesaver for us.
Oh,
Lifesaver.
okay. How did they send it?
They so you can do that actually when you know someone's going on a cruise. You can call the cruise line if you have their name, and you can have something sent to their room, which is so sweet, and it was so thoughtful. But that just kind of made me think of what you're saying, because that saved us. We didn't have like the drink package on our ship, and the fact that we had the 24 pack of water, it lasted us all 7 days. And I can only imagine if you go to some place, especially like Disney, where you're going to pay $5 per bottle.
It's
I'm sure you
magical
can
water.
Amazon bucks and get a 24 pack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Because even some hotels will charge you like $5 to place the shipment, and I like roll my eyes all the time when I see it. Um, but still, that is cheaper at the end of the day than spending that $5 on a bottle of water. I'm a huge fan. So our last topic is a question of the day from the group. And I know that you'll be able to help me with this, Jordan. This is from Richard W. With the new cruise line requirements of showing a negative COVID test in the port, what are acceptable types of tests? Do they vary by cruise line? Where are people having the tests done? So I have not ventured out into a bunch of other cruise lines as you have. Um, I have found PCR and antigen is okay. I mean, it's always best to check with whichever line you're with. I personally go to my local urgent care. There's a specific urgent care line out here. It's called Well Now. They're a chain up here in the Northeast. And they've done a really good job at getting the test back within like 24 hours or so that we could travel. That's what I use to go to Paris. That's what I used to travel before. So that's what I've done. What have you found? Because I know you've been jumping on all these different cruise lines.
So I would absolutely recommend that you double check, because the cruise lines have been making changes. Just in my time on the Carnival ship, they made a change. They were like, oh, you have to take an antigen test. Then it was PCR, and then they changed it to both. So always check with your cruise line. I also did hear, and this is not confirmed because this was what someone put in a group that I'm in on Facebook, that Royal Caribbean is going to begin accepting at-home tests if they can be doctor verified and you can have a doctor's note. That seems really difficult to me unless you live with a doctor. I don't know how you can get, because you're not supposed to look. We've taken a number of those at-home tests, and you're not supposed to read it past the. You're supposed to read it between 15 minutes and 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, it's considered expired. So I'm not sure if you have a
Mm.
primary, you can put the picture, and then they'll write you a note. I don't know how that will work, but supposedly that's upcoming news from Royal Caribbean.
I know that you could do something similar. So originally, when Hawaii opened back up, um, they had the specific programs that were aligned with Hawaiian Airlines and American Airlines. And you would get a test and you had to on Zoom, like, stick something up your nose. Well, we had to make a Zoom appointment and all this jazz. So I would assume that is along the same line. I will say the Well Now urgent care option I've used, you just make an appointment. They're open extended times of the day. Like when I got home from Adventure that night from the airport, I literally went to urgent care, had them shove it up my nose so that I could fly to Paris in like 2 days. So they were really quick, really, really efficient, I think, in my opinion. Yeah, so while I pull up this list of who is cruising this week, I gotta make sure I grab the right number. What is your next sailing, sir? Where will we see JJ Cruise next?
On Disney Dream on August 20th. We hop on that, and then we come back for 2 days, and then we start our 2 months of cruising. So
Wow.
pending, everything can change in a moment's notice. So we'll see. But Disney Dream is officially.
I'm excited. I won't lie. I am contemplating that. I was almost contemplating a B2B on it. Considering
Oh,
it.
there's a lot of people. Since they're 3 and 4 nights, I found a lot of people in the roll call group were doing a B2B, which is smart. I mean, who only wants to do Disney for 3 nights? Like, I'm already struggling with that.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know what's so funny with Disney? And I probably should have included this in a slide. You know, their new Wish ship is coming out next year, and that pricing kind of scared me. It was wild. But then they announced their new Star Wars themed hotel this week. Did you see the pricing on that? 2 nights for like
I
$5,000. I almost fell out of my chair.
it's honestly ridiculous, and I'm really disappointed to see. I was disappointed to see that Star Wars pricing, because I mean Disney is really, they're doing us a disfavor by saying, like, yep, only a certain bracket is going to be able to come and take this stuff.
That's kind of how it feels. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, they're gonna start, I think, pricing. I mean, I know that people will pay it, but my concern is pricing out some people that want to do that, that one trip that save that money for years to do that. So that I have a concern for that. It's a fine line between getting the value, and I understand they're adding new features to the parks, and those things cost money, more people, but I mean, let's be honest, we all know they make a ton of money. So, but this week out of the Today in Travel group, we have Ken Jarvis, Cruise Life Wreck, and Jason Poole on the Celebrity Apex. The reception's been a little crazy, which is how we got our lovely guest host from JJ Cruise here today. But they were just in Dubrovnik. They are heading to Greece right now as we speak. Let's see, your Love and Light. Call the urgent care ahead of time. You live in a town next to us? Oh, yeah. I mean, well, now go look at that one. I know they do good. I've used them a couple times. But that is the gist. So remember, if you guys have any questions, if you want to share your travel favorites, please post them in Today in Travel group on Facebook. You can go to todayintravel.live. And don't forget to follow JJ Cruise on YouTube and Instagram. Where else are you guys? You have a Facebook group too, right? And a page?
Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Cruise with JJ FB. I'm sorry, no, JJ Cruise FB. Oh my gosh. We have so many different pages. Facebook.com/JJ Cruise FB. That's our Facebook
And they have
page.
some pretty new cruising swag merch if you guys want to go check that out too. But until then, have a great week, everybody. Jordan, thank you again so much for joining me a little last minute this week. And don't forget to give them a follow, guys.
Thank you, Haley, so much. Thanks for having me on.